A UC Berkeley professor was tragically killed in broad daylight in a quiet suburb of Athens, Greece. What seemed like a routine custody visit turned into a cold-blooded murder, and now his ex-wife is accused of masterminding the killing. The murder involved a masked gunman, digital footprints, and an intense legal battle spanning multiple countries. The victim, 43-year-old Czechoslovakia, P.J. Gorski, was a brilliant academic and a devoted father, deeply loved by his colleagues and students. He worked as an associate professor of marketing at UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business, specializing in quantitative economics and data analytics. PJ had a complex personal life. At the time of his murder, he was involved in a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Nadia Mikwadaki, who had been living with their twin children in Athens. PJ had planned to take the kids to Poland for their usual summer visit, but this year, tragedy struck before he could fulfill that tradition. On July 4th, PJ was walking towards his ex-wife's home to pick up the children when a masked gunman ambushed him. The shooter fired 5 shots at close range, hitting PJ in the chest and back. The shooter then fled the scene, leaving behind a trail of digital evidence. Police managed to trace the getaway vehicle to a man named Christos Dounis, Mikwadaki's boyfriend. Dounis later confessed to the murder, claiming he acted out of fear that PJ would take the children away permanently. This wasn't the first violent encounter between PJ and Dounis. Back in May 2025, PJ had filed for a restraining order in California, accusing Mikwadaki and Dounis of extortion and physical assault. In his filing, PJ had described feeling in danger of his life. The situation had escalated after a bitter custody hearing that took place just a day before the murder. PJ's relationship with Mikwadaki had become increasingly tense and combative in the months leading up to his death, with both emotional and financial pressures mounting. The investigation into PJ's murder reached a critical point on July 17th, when Greek authorities arrested 5 people, including Mikwadaki and Dounis, along with 2 Albanian nationals and 1 Bulgarian man, who allegedly provided the weapon and the getaway car. Authorities revealed that digital analysis had tracked the movements of the perpetrators before, during, and after the crime, which helped piece together how the murder was planned and executed. Dounis, during his confession, admitted to shooting PJ but claimed it was to protect Mikwadaki and their children. However, other testimony suggests that Mikwadaki was the one who orchestrated the murder, fearing that PJ might take the children away. PJ had been involved in a long-running legal dispute with his ex-wife over custody arrangements and other financial matters, which added to the tension leading up to the tragedy. As the investigation continues, PJ's family has spoken out, expressing grief but also hope for justice. His brother, Łukasz Gorski, released a heartfelt statement remembering PJ as a loving father and brilliant scholar. The case has not only shaken the academic community, but also highlighted the volatile nature of international custody disputes and their potential for tragic consequences. In an interview with Greek attorney George Kounoupis, he emphasized that in custody cases, emotions often run high, especially when international factors are involved. The complexity of cross-border legal battles can lead to desperate actions, as seen in this case. These cases often become the most contentious because of the emotions involved. In business-related disputes, it's not uncommon to hear things like, "I'm going to ruin you," or "I'll destroy you." People struggle to control their emotions in these situations. In cases like this one, threats become very personal, threatening someone's reputation, property, and even attempting to expose them. It's a tangled mess, especially when other individuals, such as a local boyfriend, are involved. In this case, emotions are running high. Breakups and divorces are already stressful, but when children are involved, things escalate quickly. And when you add international elements like multiple countries, such as the United States, Poland, and Greece, the situation becomes even more complicated. One significant aspect of this case is a confession made by the Greek boyfriend. This confession will likely be highly valuable for prosecutors. Greek law has strong protections against coercion, especially when it comes to confessions. Any confession is admissible as long as it's not coerced, and Greek law has checks in place to ensure it wasn't. If any mental or physical torture was used to extract this confession, it would be invalid. The legal process in Greece is distinct, with long investigative stages. There's no fast-track trial rule, and people can be held for a long time before trial, which is different from systems like that of the U.S. The investigation is conducted by a judge who makes decisions regarding the evidence, including whether the confession was coerced. The question about whether the confession was coerced after 12 days of interrogation is critical. While this is a concern, it's important to understand the Greek legal system, which examines whether confessions are voluntary and free from coercion. It's not a straightforward determination, and decisions can evolve as more information is gathered. Beyond the confession, there's a substantial amount of other evidence. There are mobile phones, physical evidence placing the accused near the scene, and witness accounts. In this case, the charges against the ex-wife include being a moral accomplice, meaning she may have orchestrated the murder without being physically involved. Even if she didn't pull the trigger, her involvement in planning and instigating the crime would make her equally liable in the eyes of the law. Her defense, likely to claim that the boyfriend acted independently, is common in such cases. However, she was present during a previous assault by the boyfriend, knew of the threats, and had a history of making such threats herself. This adds weight to the argument that she had a role in planning the murder, even if she didn't carry out the act herself. The concept of moral accomplice in Greek law is key. If she encouraged, planned, or motivated the perpetrator, she can be charged with the same degree of murder as the actual killer. The intent behind her actions, particularly her desire for her ex-husband to be dead, is critical in this case. It doesn't matter if she didn't execute the crime herself. Her role in orchestrating it can hold her accountable as a principal in the murder. As for the evidence from other countries, such as text messages and court documents from the U.S., these can be crucial in the Greek legal system. International evidence, including certified translations and sworn affidavits, can be presented in Greek courts. This ensures that evidence from different jurisdictions is treated fairly and can be used to build a case. The tragedy doesn't end with the crime. The children are now left in the custody of Greek authorities, and the question becomes where they will go next. Their family, especially in Poland, might seek custody of the children under the Hague Convention. The Greek courts will consider various factors in determining what's in the best interest of the children, including who has a relationship with them and where they would feel most comfortable. The emotional toll on the children is immeasurable. Losing both parents and then being thrust into an unfamiliar environment would be traumatic. The question of where the children will go and who will care for them remains, but the priority will always be their safety and well-being.